everybody, welcome back. Today we're playing the Kid at the Back. This is a game for 18 and older, so please, if you are a minor, please just get off the video. This is not for you. And without further ado, let's get started. Notice this game is still developing. Bugs, errors, 18 plus. Yes. Continue to proceed. It was many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. Is that one from Edgar Allan Poe? Pretty sure it is. Day 1, the beloved. And class dismissed. By our next meeting, I need a full report on everyone's poem that they have chosen. I will not accept one paragraph. I need 2 whole pages full of words. Everyone got that? The classroom broke into a series of, yes, professor, while some spared no time in packing their things, eager to be dismissed and disregarding the teacher altogether. Your literature teacher packs up her own things and exits the classroom. The moment your literature teacher left, the classroom broke into small groups as each student gathered up to meet their respective clique. Some engaged in conversation while some spared no time in exiting the classroom. A yawn escaped your lips. You turned your head and observed the clouds outside. The clouds are shaded in dark gray. The sky once blue is now turning the same lighter shade of gray. The looming threat of rain made you click your tongue in irritation. Just by luck, I didn't bother bringing an umbrella. Wait, this background kind of looks like those anime backgrounds. Standing up from your seat, you were about to grab your bag when you felt a tap on your shoulder. Yo, I'm actually part of the popular clique. Yo! She's so baddie. Look at her. She's kind of ghetto looking. I love it. I think I said it right. Is that what it was? Oh my god, she has a star earring. That's so cute. She's so beautiful, man. Turning around, you come face to face with coal black blue eyes. Her blonde hair shaped like swirls with the ends dyed in blue and pink, complementing her entire ensemble, even if it's just a white button-up that clearly looks too small for her. Okay, baddie. Hot pink jacket tied around her waist in the school's black skirt. Her hand, which you assume was the same one that tapped your shoulder, hung in the air. Does she not like me? Oh my god, what's that face, man? She seemed unsure whether to continue or not, judging the way her eyebrows furrowed downward while biting her lower glossed lip. She turned slightly, her head not fixed on you, but rather whoever is behind her. Is she gonna bully me? You heard her whisper something under her breath before eventually composing herself and her focus solely on you now. Hey, you're going to lunch with us, right? I mean, you should. I don't usually see you in the cafeteria often, so you must not be eating properly. Do I not eat properly? No, I always eat properly. Mischaracterization, fun of boss. How can you keep up with classes looking like that? Am I chopped? Oh my god, I might be chopped. Man. Excuse me? Take a step back, clenching the strap of your back as you glare at the blonde woman before you. I don't know if I would actually act like that. What's this woman? Who does she think she is? She's a baddie. She knows who she is. Judging by the woman's expression, she finally realized the words that came out of her mouth. Brittany! A familiar voice interrupted the two of you. You turned your head to see her voice was understood none other than your old friend. Yuck! Man! Yo, he looks British. Sorry guys. Plus really insensitive of you. Imagine if someone told you about how you look. Man, why is he coming to my defense? His familiar orbs of... I'm not bothering to say that. Blue, nearly replicating lapis lazuli, and his chocolate brown hair tied loosely in a low braid. Sun-kissed skin enhanced his handsome features. Is he handsome? I mean, he looks alright. Adorned with a black long sleeve, buttoned up, and an indigo vest had a clean look. Why is he not wearing the school's uniform? They say they at least have a school skirt. Why is it only applying to the girls right now? Or is he a rule breaker? He is known as Jericho. Some name, okay? Crow for short. Okay, thank God he has a shorter name, because honestly, I would have a headache each time I would try to say these words, man. The class representative and a close friend of yours. Well, the only close friend you have. Am I a loner? Oh my god. Realistically, I would not be a loner, guys. Oh. Crow made his way to your side with a hand on his hip, his reprimands the blonde woman next to you, and the said woman just shrugged her shoulders. Well, she's a baddie, so I excuse her completely. You place a hand over your beating heart. The close proximity between you two caused a blush to appear in your cheeks. I am not this flustered, guys. Well, if he's a 10 out of 10, no matter how many times you get close to him or him getting near you, you'll never get used. His whole aura just gives a warm feeling in you, with the butterflies in your stomach thrashing and raging, begging to be released. Ew! Yeah, you may have a little bit of a crush on him. Okay, guys. The woman named Brittany just rolls her eyes, seemingly used to Crow's reprimands. Well, you're the one who insisted on me initiating talk. You could have done it more nicely, you know. Like a simple invite alone. Crow gives you a small smile while handing something out to you. You look down to see it. It was your ID. You dropped this, by the way. My name. You stare down at your own idea and see yourself more. I'm more feminine, man. Use feminine terms. It will be called. Okay, thanks. Okay, I get it. Yes, this is mine. Your fingers briefly brush against. Ew. Yuck. You bit your lip, then mutter a small thank you before pocketing your school ID. Crow gives you a closed-eye smile, returning his own thank you, then it turns his attention back to Brittany. Flung up behind Brittany are 3 more people. The tallest of the 3 is a sporty-looking man clad in a green and yellow jersey with the number 10 written in it. His eyes are a bright green that kind of reminds you of green apples. His skin is a beautiful brown that nearly matches his curly hair with a stubble nicely on his chin, indicating his maturity. The second tallest man is in a purple hoodie, his eyes sharp and slanted with long lashes, adorned with a teal color orbs underneath. His hair is straight and styled in a Heimka, save for short strand tied with a red ribbon and a low ponytail with the same shade of red behind him. So he looks uninterested with what's going on at the very moment. Okay, man. And last but not the least is the shortest of the 3, maybe with the group as well. Her skin pale, her face dotted with a few freckles, and there as rectangular shaped frames shields away orange orbs. Her hair is short and loose like waves. She wears a black button up under an orange vest and a black skirt matching Brittany's. So why is the boys not wearing any of the school uniforms? It's actually irritating me. I just don't get how it does not apply to the guys in here. What was his voice sound like? I feel like he would sound something like Damn, Britt, you're sure bad at socializing. Hey, Gio, seems like you have some competition. The tall jock chatting. Okay, we get it. Did he just mention this? I'm skipping that part, guys, and no one's hearing that. Lets out a loud laugh and causing some students to turn and look at him. Well, I'm actually the exact same, so I cannot complain. Brittany's face grew red from embarrassment. Gritting her teeth, she crossed her arms while tapping her foot on the ground. This only made the jock laugh harder. Shut the flip up, Daryl. You're causing a scene. Also, if you were me, you would have done just as badly. This is, matter of fact, not true. I'm a lovable guy. Oh, yeah? As the 2 argue, you turn your head towards the tall man in a hoodie. Sensing your gaze, he looks down at his hand still in his hoodie pockets. Okay. ... A sudden chill went down your spine. You quickly avert your gaze away from the imposing male and landing on the meek girl in an orange vest right beside Brittany. She hasn't spoken since she arrived with the 2 males, but judging how she's attached to Brittany, you're guessing she's closer with her than the rest of the group. She kind of reminds you of yourself. This is mischaracterization, foul boss. When you were so new to school for no one to talk to, not until Crow befriended you, of course, ... Were you just as clingy to Crows back then as she is with Brittany now? Sorry, they're kind of a ratty bunch, huh? I hope you're not too overwhelmed. They sure are something. Look, Legacy, you're still free not to join us for lunch if you're uncomfortable. Meeting new people is overwhelming. I just want to let you know that I respect your feelings and that you matter, Legacy. Thank you. Crow reassures you with a worried smile on his lips. You turn back to the group. The tall jock named Daryl is now bothering Gio with his arm around his shoulder. The visible irritation on Gio's face did nothing to sway Daryl's happy-go-lucky personality. Brittany leans on one of the decks with her arms crossed, striking a conversation with the skeptical girl beside her. What's her name? I didn't seem to catch her last time. Crow glanced at where you were pointing at. Oh, Jessie. You could call her Jess for short. She's best friends with Brittany. She kind of reminds me of you when we first met. All shy and quiet. Only that you're cuter. Crow pinches at your cheek playfully and you groan, but your mock annoyance is betrayed by a small smile that formed on your lips. How time flies, huh? Time flies indeed. When am I gonna leave this, freaking school, man? That's right, you got yourself acquainted with Crow in your sophomore year. Before you left for the city, your father emphasized on the importance of having companions and establishing friendships, mostly especially in this college. Huh? Olympias University, the largest university in Titan City. Are we in, AOT? It's known for having the best facilities and the best education where you're guaranteed to rise from the bottom to the top. Well, that's what the advertisement tells you. You try getting to know the people during your first year, but to no avail. No matter how much you try to make friends, you just couldn't seem to bring yourself to talk to anyone. And teachers may, no one seems to bother talking to even befriend you. You would talk with a few classmates for a project, but nothing goes beyond that, as if they're scared of you, or more disgusted. You can never tell. Looks you've received here have all been mixed signals, some bad, some out of pity. Until Crow came into the picture. Among everyone, Crow was the sole person who approached you with his intention of friendship. You were weary at him first. Why would someone want to befriend you out of nowhere? Your past experience caused you suspicion. You had a history of people who try to earn your good graces just because you're somehow beneficial to them. You thought Crow would be the same case, so you ignored him. But he kept following you, trying to strike a conversation with you every now and then. You tried to dismiss him, ignoring his presence as usual, but Crow was determined to break down your walls and kept insisting on tagging along, and it annoyed you to no end. Just once. That is until the last day of your first semester in your sophomore year. You fell victim to one of the school's biggest flaws. If Crow wasn't there to stop, begin to imagine what might have happened to you. Whoa. Also, pardon me if I talk too fast or read too fast. Thank goodness Jan Hans. You're concerned about me? How about you? You're the one who's hurt. Thinking back, you thought he was crazy and stupid. Crazy, stupid, and HOT. Taking blow after blow until the perpetrators got bored and left the both of you alone. Well, that's the whole point, right? As long as you're not hurt, this is nothing. You're crazy. You know that? And he just laughs it off, wincing due to the bruises on his face. Just so nonchalant, are we? I never got your name, crazy person. It's Jericho. Jericho. It's bad. But just call me Crow. Nice to meet you, Crow. I'm Legacy. And you brought him to the clinic that day and became inseparable ever since. Wow. Right after that incident, Crow promised to never get into fights again and continues to keep his word on it. You really owe it to him. Look back at Crow and he tilts his head. Something on your mind, Legacy? Nothing. Just happy that you're my friend. He looked at you with raised eyebrows, probably surprised at how random your thoughts seem. He didn't say anything as he let your words sink in. His usual smile, gentle, appeared on his face. Crow inched closer to you, indicating he feels the same way. Brittany must have taken notice of the amount of time wasted in talking and arguing. She turns to one last time. We talked a little bit too much. We'll end up not getting any seats if we keep this up. So are you coming with us or not? Caught up in your little daydream about past, Brittany finally spoke up, catching your attention. You look back at Crow, recalling his words. Don't force yourself to still join if you're uncomfortable. You then decide to, well, I have a feeling that this will matter. Okay, go with them, go to the library, go somewhere else. Let's go to the library. I'll head to the library today, because if this is a good school, I want to keep up with my studies, and I want to pass, and I want to graduate. So, I'm gonna study. With a hand on her hip, Brittany stares at you as if waiting for you to change your mind. Seeing the decisions that she loosens aside, Brittany wordlessly turns on her heel and walks out of the classroom, the rest of her friends following slowly behind her. Can you guys say goodbye to me? Like, hello? Crow, however, stays in the exact spot right next to you. Knowing this, one of the hoodie stops. Crow? Huh? Oh, be right there. Crow paused shortly, sneaking a look at your face before walking towards Gio. His movement slow and hesitant to leave your side. Although Crow did not give you a farewell glance before reaching his friend, it was Gio who glared at you over his shoulder. Why does he hate me? Oh my god, what's your problem? Oh, we got beef now. His gaze was intimidating and intense. It reminded you of the way predators look at their prey. You felt your heart stop beating for a moment. I mean, realistically, he could beat my butt if he really tried. Confused by his apparent stillness, Crow was about to question his blue-haired companion, but Gio waved his hand dismissively. Before Crow could notice anything, Gio breaks his gaze away from yours and ushers his friend out of the classroom. A breath you didn't know you were holding. What was that about? Exactly, what was that about? He made nothing but short glances and glares since I've met him. Why does he hate me so much? Ugh. Actually, yeah, if one person was doing this, glaring at me and giving me dirty looks, I would be so hesitant to join their group. I would actually be shooting bricks. I would hate being beside them because maybe I'm not suited to be a part of their group. You shake away the negative thoughts attempting to plague your mind. Returning to your original plan, you pack up your things and proceed to head out. Next stop, the library. I'm gonna study and show this guy that I'm boss, man. The rowdy hallway buzzed with noise and sweaty and tired students who made their way towards their respective classes. Some presumably headed to the office or cafeteria to take a break. Several were headed to the same direction you were walking. So I am a loner. I'd rather be a loner than receive dirty glances. With the library within your reach, a smile etched on your face. I'm such a geek. You open the doors, immediately greeted by the familiar scent of coffee and library books. That smells like the morning. You always were awed by the university's fancy facilities. In fact, the library was surprisingly operates as a small cafe, serving coffee to the students who needed it early in the morning until the afternoon. It was a huge hit amongst everyone, and you understand why. Caffeine is the fuel to a college student's weary soul. The aroma of coffee somehow lightened your mood. Anticipating a short moment of peace within the library, you made your way towards your usual seat by the large window near the yeah, I love the window seats. Your mood dropped when you spot an unfamiliar face occupying the chair you come to favorite. You groaned. Just great. What should I do about this? Find somewhere else to sit, ask them to move away, so you just take the seat beside him. I'm just gonna take the seat beside him. You don't feel like talking to him when causing trouble in your head. With a sigh, you give the thought of getting your seat back and you drag the spare chair and sit beside him. He looked at you from the corner of his eye. You thought he would say something, but didn't seem to mind it since he brought his attention back to his book he was reading. You continue to report, occasionally tapping the pen on the paper with forward brows. You were thinking too hard for the stupid text, but your brain came out with empty forwards. You feel him glance at you time to time. You paid him no mind now that your report took priority. Time passed eventually, and lunch break was nearing its end. You were on half your paper still empty. You weren't able to get much work done. I swear it's because that guy took my seat. It's all his fault, man. All you did was probably go over the poem over and over multiple times in hopes that the sudden will to write will hit you. And sadly, it did not. You're the guy beside you standing up from his seat. You forgot about his presence and heads out of the library, leaving you alone at his table. I'm the type to, not do anything about it, but silently, curse their name, okay? You took a glance at the wall clock, cursing at the time. Surely there was no point in wasting any more time here. You made your way out of the library as well. I made sure to clean up after myself, right? Once you reached the hallway, the stranger from the library was already gone, but someone surprised you was Crow's presence, followed by the same group of friends you saw this morning. Only that Brittany's uniform was now covered with what seems to be a mixture of ketchup, mustard, and a variety of oils, while Jess tries her best to wipe them off her. Legacy, I was about to check up on you. How are you feeling? Doing fine. Just mad I didn't get much work done on my paper. You could always come to me for some help. Can you help Brittany? You give her a smile, thankful for his will to help before turning to Brittany. The said girl notices your gaze and lets out a huff. She seems embarrassed. I'm doing fine, although... You turn your waist towards the blonde behind him. Crow follows your line of sight and scratches his cheek. A drop of sweat rolls down his neck, sensing your curiosity. He turns to Brittany. The blonde woman just waves him off, refusing to meet his eyes. Taking that as a sign to proceed, Crow explains. Things went a little bit hectic in the cafeteria. A food fight broke out. That was the best food fight ever. You should have seen the look on that red-haired girl when you slammed the ketchup on her uniform. Dale jumped in the conversation, startling you and Crow. His sudden appearance and annoyed expression made its way to Crow's face. You know you got all of us in trouble, Daryl. I'm just thankful that we got ourselves out of there before things got worse. Yeah. Our knight in shining armor, Mr. Always to the rescue. Really making use of your title as school's rep, huh? Daryl gives Crow a little nudge. The said man just rolls his eyes. But you got to admit the Pinkie Pie was freaking hilarious, right, Britt? You and Daryl turn to Brittany. Some of the sauce on her uniform gone, but nothing with a stain on it. A small smirk formed on her lips when she recalled the earlier events. Well, I can't deny I felt good having to fight back. Brittany's my favorite. Daryl gives a toothy smile at this blonde woman, which made her return with her own snarky smile. Crow only rolls his eyes, shaking his head at the two troublemakers. Contrary to his visible disagreement, you couldn't help but notice a small smile on his face as he's proud of them despite the trouble they caused. As you observe them, you know something amiss, or that there's someone amiss. Watch it, BGO. I have not heard about him this whole entire time. Just seems to catch up on you confusion at the lack of numbers and steps up to explain. If you're looking for Gio, he said he was going somewhere else. I'm not quite sure where, though. I see. Not that I was actively trying to look for the guy, he just scares me. You recall the look he gave you right before you left the library. Just remember it sends a shiver down your spine. You considered untucking a Crow's sleeve, wanting to seek some answer about his other friend, but he seems to be going along with the group with a general smile on his face. You figure, like, I don't want to ruin it. Yeah, I don't want to ruin the mood. I should head to my next class. Any more of your time, you swiftly turn your heel and rush out of the seat. She's quite a runner, isn't she? Daryl perks up beside Crow's sullen face while the two stare at you departing form. Crow sighs and looks down on the floor. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Tyler Jack says nothing but gives his friend a look of pity, rubbing Crow's back as he tries to think of anything, to reassure the man next to him. Daryl's eyes suddenly lit up, a small smile appearing on his lips. Taking advantage of Crow's vulnerability, he swiftly snatches his friend's phone from his pockets, the latter not even batting an eye at his phone that was taken. Instead, he questions him. This jock simply messes with his phone, his tongue sticking out the corner of his lips. What are you doing? Trying to fix your love life. You're welcome, by the way. What are you even talking? Crow's eyes grew wide at the block of text Daryl showed him. Give that back. Daryl simply laughs at Crow's failed attempts at getting his phone back. Daryl waves Crow's blue mobile phone in the air. You got no choice, Crow. I've already sent the message. Oh, Daryl, you sneaky little bastard. You can call me your favorite wingman after this. The jock winks. I can't really do male voices. A few feet away from the men, Brittany and Jess simply observed the two males. They turned to each other and shrugged, wondering what Daryl could have done to get Crow all flustered like that. It's probably his confession. Barely making it to your next class, you send into the door open, earning you a few looks from the students. Am I late? I don't think I am. Turn to the podium, you exhale the breath. You didn't realize you're okay, I keep pulling my breath. I'm gonna pass out one day. And you realize your teacher was still absent. Fixing your composure, you scan the room. A few easels and shelves filled with brushes and bottles stained with acrylic paint guaranteed that you made it to the right class. You make your way to your seat. Once settled down, you go and placing your elbows on the desk, resting your chin on top of your hands, waiting patiently for your professor's arrival. Though you couldn't help but notice the feeling of someone staring at you. Oh my god. You shook it off thinking that must have been the lack of sleep. You look at the window. Or maybe it's the cold weather. Actually, with like dark clouds, I get a little bit paranoid because I really like sunny skies. Hearing the classroom door open, your art professor makes his way inside. His large round belly is standing out. Round skeptical sitting on top of his nose and a stereotypical brown beret on his head. So he's really playing the part, man. He greets the class before starting his lecture. Yap. Art exhibit project featuring various eras of power play throughout the theaters. We were tasked with expressionism. Remember, this is all part of your paper, and not to mention making a name for yourself, of course. More like taking the credit of a student's work and using it to advertise crappy school. You scoff at the thought. I'll be back up partners already by this time. For this term, I might need you all to create 3 works based on the exhibit's theme. You're trying to throw your desk out the window. How could you forget? You weren't even present to the previous meeting, and you absolutely knew no one in a specific class. Weren't you taking art again? Oh, right, your father was an artist and a farmer. It was all for him, and maybe you can make a name out of yourself with your works. If ever your life as a gardener wouldn't turn out the way it should. All part of plan B. If that fails, I got plan C and D. So I got life plans. That's amazing, man. I have yet to make up the rest. Or, I guess I'll die. You shake away your silly thoughts that the problem is at hand. You have no partner to work with. Now, I want all of you to go to your chosen partner for this project so I can start explaining your task. Eventually, you were forced out of your seat since your C-main partner will be occupied for the rest of the class. You curse at yourself. You can only hope that you're not the only student who did not have a partner for this class. But looking around, it seems like everyone's calm and collected. We're the one panicking here. Unlike the rest of the class scurrying around to meet their partner, you were the only fool who was standing still. Not on the only one standing, because from the corner of the classroom, there's a single student who has not bothered to stand up from their seat. Their seatmate had left the pair of someone else, leaving a vacant spot. Is he not going to bother with his partner? Unless... Hey there! He looks up from his desk. Okay. You know what? Realistically, I would be trying to do this. He looks up from his desk and looks at your approaching form before you eventually stand next to him. It's not me. It's not me. What was this guy realistically? He looks like he does not shower. Yeah. Anyway. Well, okay, back to it's you. Seems like you're a bit lost there. Do you have a partner? No. Well, just your luck then, me neither. So, do you want to be partners? It seems like, we don't have anyone else. Sure, why not? He looks like he'll be like, you guys know those Roblox creators where there's like mumbling into the mic? He sounds like he'll sound like that, or like a Slender from like 2020, Prime 2020. You took the vacancy right next to him. His book now tucked away on his desk, now a pen on a piece of paper, seemingly ready to take notes. Hey, I've never got to know your name. It's not quite important. Well, I should at least know to call you instead of green. Ew, I'm so corny. I'm skipping that. Here's about your silly nickname you gave him before slightly shaking his head. Huh? Yo, what are these names? We got Jericho Ichibod. We got Solvillian Brugmansia. I would never name my kid this. I would change my name. Yeah, I would never want to be called these names. Like, give me a nickname. Don't call me Solvillian, man. They just call me Sol. I did not know the definition, but we're rolling with it. Your name contracts your whole glam, not gonna lie. Sol means sun or brightness, right? These are basically the same thing, different font. Sol nods, rubbing the back of his head. You can say that. He looks so yucky, guys. My mother gave me that name. Wouldn't assume that was your brother, man. Why am I talking to this guy? I would actually hate him. I would avoid him like the plague, bro. I would never speak to this guy. It's a lovely name. Thanks. Legacy, 5 more shows. It's nice to know your name. It's so not so his mom warm his lips. Yeah, ignore him. Actually, I would not be talking with this guy. Not by will. Apparently I'm lonely, so I'm trying to get friends. 3 artworks to showcase. Note, it has been a form of expressionism. It will be strictly traditional. Okay, we get it. Professor then proceeds to get other pointers for your project before leaving you and the rest of your class for the day. Every the class proceeds to talk with their partners, already brainstorming ideas, what they're going to showcase, and hopefully get a high grade. I hope I get 100. I usually get 100. Actually, on all my art projects, I always get 100. You turn to Sol as he took out his own charcoal pencil and his sketch pad for the class. You got any plans for our first display? Expressionism is about conveying one's feelings, right? The easiest for now is a portrait. Let's use your face as an example. My face? That's a little chuckle. Ew! Ew! There, you're making a cute expression right now. That can be considered as expressionism. Ew. He seems like he already has an idea on what to do. And judging by the half-filled sketchbook of his, he's quite familiar with the concept of art. Me, however, I'm pretty great at art. Sol gives a small smile. I love seeing some of your works then. No thanks. So would you like me to draw my portrait first? Sure, wait, let me get my things. You took out your sketch pad and a charcoal pencil as Sol relaxed on his seat. Would you like me to pose or... Do whatever you feel most comfortable in. Alright. You see, this pose does do some justice because currently you're really jobbed. Your eyes scanned his face. The more you look at him, the more you know some of his features, his cheekbones, his lips with 2 piercings, his thick eyebrows, and the way his hair settles down on his shoulders. No thanks. And his reddish-orange eyes. He's actually quite handsome. Not handsome. For a moment, you just stare at his eyes. He notices and stares back, his pupils dilating before he realizes he was staring. He rises to his cheeks as he quickly reverses his head. Hey, eyes on me. Sorry, I'm not really used to be staring at for that long. Relax. It's just me. Plus, you'll be staring at my boring face before I'm done with your portrait. Your face is boring. I actually think you look beautiful. You know, actually, now that I think about it, Crow is, much better than this guy. He says without even thinking twice. His eyes met yours, half-lit and his pupils wise. What? Now it's your turn to turn red. No thanks. I'm not. And you hid your face behind your sketch pad and whacked him with your charcoal pencil. Stop saying stupid things and stay still. Sol just chuckled and stilled his movements. A hand on his chest and a smile on his face. I would never stay beside this guy. Before we knew it, the bell rang and class was now over. You hadn't done your sketch, however. The conversation kept repeating in your mind and made it hard for you to concentrate. And like hell, you were going to show it to this guy. Come on, just a peek. It's not done yet. Boo. You chucked your sketch pad in your bag before Sol could grab a hold of it. You got up from your seat and headed out of the classroom. Sol coming close behind with his own bag. And is he following me? Okay. You have a phone? We can exchange numbers and update each other so we can do the next 2 tasks. Sol then takes out his own phone and asks for your number. You recited something and then put it on his phone. Let me try to send you a message. You nodded and you looked at your phone screen and you saw a new notification from an unknown number. This must be Sol's. Sup? You type so different from how you look. For the corner, I see Sol's eyebrows raised at your text. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing. You chuckled and he rolled his eyes. You were staring at lingers on Sol's face, a smile embedded on his handsome features, while he looks at the block of text on his phone. You bit your bottom lip as you recall the events that happened today. Let's meet new people. First, formally meeting Crow's group, and now meeting Sol. Back then, you struggled to form friends throughout college. They were convinced that graduating without making a single connection, which would be undoubtedly disappointing your father, and you were ready for it. You thought to yourself, these are odd people. Eccentrics at most. All misunderstood people, all human, all the same. Not all the same. One of them doesn't shower. A sudden wave of determination rushed over you. With a hand on your chest, you stared into Sol's orbs and gave him his head slightly. Sol, I want to be friends with you. I can sense that people tend to misunderstand you and your overall personality. Sol's quiet, but his gaze for me so you got a lingering curiosity. But let me be different. I want to know you. I want to understand you, Sol, if you let me. He blinked once until I then chuckled. He puts his large hand on top of your head and ruffles your hair. Alright then, let's mark today the story of wonderful friendship legacy. You playfully push his hand off your head and nudge him in the shoulder. He lets out a small laugh at your poor attempt. As to you, never say this guy's name. just feels fine. Well, I need to get out of here. See you tomorrow? Of course. See you tomorrow, Legacy. Give us a little wave of goodbye. You make your way towards the school exit. In a hurry, because I don't want to see this guy ever again. ... Ew! And now look, he's laughing to himself. Just gotta get this voice thing over with. My darling. My sweet darling. See you later, pumpkin. Yuck! As you walk through the hallway, your eyes caught on something on the nearby bulletin board. A poster was plastered on the large board. Wow, great. Hallow's Ball. Come enjoy the best spirit of Halloween. Halloween party, huh? Seems promising. That's great. A sudden vibration come from your pocket. Curious, you took out your phone expecting to see another message from Zoe. It was from Crow. Oh, yay! Finally, some options. Your heart leapt from your chest, recalling the events that happened earlier this afternoon. Can you meet me after class? I'll be at the front gate. You didn't send a reply. Turn off your phone, you quickly made a hasty exit. Yep, I am rushing to the exit. You approached the school's gate, keeping an eye out for your friend. Sure enough, there stood Crow in all his glory. That's right, he's glorious compared to the other guy. Postured straight with arms behind his back neatly placed on the ground, his foot tapping on the concrete ground nervously. You yourself were growing nervous with each step you took as you drew closer and closer to him. When you reached his side and made your presence known with a small greeting, you noticed the way Crow's eyes raised in mild surprise. I was not expecting you to actually show up before him. He cleared his throat before composing himself properly, his body now facing in your direction. You wanted to see me? Yes, Lifting his bag from the floor, he slings a strap over his shoulder and offers his hand for you to take. I'd like to take you somewhere. It's a bit near the park, if you let me. Take his hand, take his arm. Ooh. I'm really thinking hard about this one, okay? Ew, what's this hot? 3, 1, no! I don't want to be near this guy. I don't want to be near the green one. I'll take his arm. Does that change anything? You didn't take his outstretched hand, but rather boldly wrapped your arm around his, earning a look of surprise from his azure eyes. He did not question you on the matter, but a wide smile made its way through his features, a slight blush dusted his cheeks. Ooh. Yes. He holds your arm tight and leads the both of you away from the school grounds. By the time you and Crow made it to the park, it was already sundown. Stars slowly started painting the sky. Is this the place you're trying to lead me to, Crow? Not quite yet. Come here. You start into the thickest of the thick bushes. Surprised to see the stony stars, though a bit run down, it seems to be sturdy to step foot on. Looking up, you see at least somewhere above. You and Crow make your way up the stony stairs, some red and orange leaves climbing the steps as you and him avoided puddles from the rain this morning. Well, here, come, it's a sight to behold. I don't think my thing was done loading. Yo. Just pretend it's done loading, guys. Don't comment on the buggy site I'm playing on. Taking one last step, you and Crow admiring whatever it was beyond him, his smile bright as his eyes twinkle like the stars above. Your eyes went wide in awe upon seeing the scenery before you, replicating the one Crow has on his face. Not once did you take in consideration of the idea of sightseeing within the city. Everything felt unfamiliar, imitating even. You couldn't blame yourself for feeling so distressed about the idea of traveling, especially since you had no one else within the city to guide you. But gazing at the sea of lights that outstretched before you made you realize that this what you might have been missing much of the city has to offer. Looking further ahead, you take notice of the tall tower decorated with bright neon pink lights. A little bit strange, to its right is the movie theater right next to the mall. The rows of other buildings, multicolored lights seemed endless. The more you scan the area, the more you see unfamiliar places that you did not know existed. Your moment of silence while admiring the city was interrupted by the sound of rustling grass. You turn around, finding the source of the sound. Crow has made himself comfortable laying on the ground under an old tree. You see his backpack leaning on the trunk. You turn your back from the city and walk to where Crow laid, deciding to keep him company. His gaze on the starry sky shifts to you as you sit down beside him, a hopeful smile on his face. Judging by your face lighting all up, it seems like you like this place, huh? Can't you join me? Accepting his invitation, you give Crow a slight nod that brought joy to his eyes. You stretch a bit, laying on your back right next to him, your fingers barely touching. You and Crow look at the night sky, observing how the stars twinkle as if rain from tomorrow never happened. Hold on a second. I just had a premonition. You know this, right? How, like, it kept changing. How is it changing? Unless this guy, the green one, is following. Because how else is it changing? How is it... That's curious. That's very curious. You and Crow look at the night sky. You observe how the stars twinkle as if the rain from this morning never happened. How did you manage to find this place? You tilt your head to look at him, and he gives you a closed chuckle before his twinkling gaze met yours. I'll take that you've never heard of Lily Smith, have you, Legacy? Lily Smith? Crow points up at the old tree that stood above you, then returns his gaze to the stars. They say this tree that the humans came in contact with was blessed by the gods that guard this land. This is the very same tree that used to bear multiple fruits. They say that they never rot, and they're free for anyone to take. Well, so what the popular interpretation says anyway. There's other versions of the myth? Crow shrugs his shoulders. Moving his gaze from the sky back to the tree, he stares at it as if trying to decipher something that just by the mere look of it. There's other versions, yes. Some say the fruits are actually poisonous. Others say it's meant for the gods, and no human must take it lest they be cursed. That sounds quite gruesome. As someone they would rather use the lighter version of the myth. Crow lets out a low chuckle at your statement, nodding a bit as if agreeing with you. I guess that might be one of the reasons. Hey, Legacy. He paused before speaking again. Your prick eyebrow at him. Yep. This seems like a silly question. Go ahead. Do you believe in gods? That question caught you by surprise. Never thought it was Crow was the religious type. More so, he'd be interested in by gods, or maybe he just curious by the idea of them. This may be the best moment to know for sure. So I don't. You don't? Nope. I don't. I believe this one's hard work. Does that count? Crow merely chuckles at your statement with a hand resting on his chest. He seems to shake his head slightly as if he couldn't believe it. You just said that. I don't mind that people believe in them. I just don't like the way that some of them worship the very ground those so-called gods walk on. You scoffed. I believe everything is made possible through everyone's effort, it be a team or as an individual. The believers only give credit to these deities for everything, and it's an insult for the forgotten people who sacrifice themselves to make things even happen. Recall the townsfolk who endlessly praise and worship your patron deity with a bountiful harvest you and your family broke sweat and tears for. You watched as the efforts of your labor were all thrown to some invisible being, which, as far as you knew, returned nothing but calamities over the others. This was only a miracle that you and your father and that damn farmland were standing and your crops still thriving after so much damage. Crow notices your brows furrow. He says nothing, but the look in his eyes tells you that he shares the same sentiments with you wholeheartedly. This is why we're TPs in the pods. How about you? Do you believe in gods? You turn to Crow, repeating the same question he asked you earlier. Look at your face, your eyes, your nose, and your lips. His lingering gaze made you shrink back, your heart fluttering slightly. Crow seemed to realize that something to himself before he turns his attention to the stars above, sighing. I don't. This surprises you, and Crow allows your visible shock and confusion. He looks like he laughs like a millionaire, man. What? You didn't think I'd be a non-believer? If I had to be honest, no. Why so? You dress kinda like a priest. Crow's azure eyes grew wide as he broke into one of the loudest laughs you have ever heard from him. He laughed so hard that he had to clench his stomach and wipe the tear staining the corner of his eyes. He was still chuckling when he unbuttons the first two studs of his black polo, revealing more of his collarbone to you. You quickly avert your eyes, find these trees to be very interesting in the moment you feel a familiar heat rush your cheeks. How's that? This one? Yikes. It feels like I'm seeing a Victorian woman's ankles for the first time. Crow grins at your reaction. It took the both of you a few more seconds going back and forth with teasing and you reprimanding him before you finally calmed down. The next few moments you spent with you pointing out the stars and Crow teaching you the constellations with a gentle whisper-like voice. You both fell silent, basking in the peace of the night. As the silence prolonged, Crow fell deep in thought. About today, Legacy. About the guys. So you're moving to this conversation next, huh? Okay. I've got to be honest, Dell put me up this little hangout while I was feeling down in the dumps. I think I do have to thank him for forcing me and actually giving me the courage to talk to you after class. As I breath he did not know he was holding, refusing to meet your eyes. I just don't know if I upsetted you by suddenly dragging you into this group. I probably should have told you about them a long time ago, huh? I'm sorry, Legacy. You bit your lip. You suspected that Crow might have been upset by making him think that you didn't like the group's president at all. Was it about me going to the library? And that he's forcing you to bend to his will. One thing to know about Crow is that he's never the type to demand to be control, to be a king, to be a tyrant. You didn't do anything wrong, Crow. In fact, I should be the one to apologize. You speak without thinking. Yeah, I do speak without thinking sometimes. Crow turns his head to look at you, his gaze surrounded with confusion and your apology. I'm sorry for making you feel bad. I didn't mean to be upset. You swallow a lump in your throat, trying your best to hold the tears that you were threatening to spill. I just thought you forgot about me earlier. They're amazing peoples. Brittany's pretty. Daryl's a fun guy. Joe's so cool. And Jess is loyal. They're a great group. And most importantly, you're amazing, Crow. You're all amazing. But me, I'm just not sure if I could ever be a part of the group. You're always in the shadows, no matter how much you tried to fit in. You were never to be considered. People treat you like you were something to toss away, someone to use. You were nothing but an extra. Yo, that would just remind me of like Bakugo for a second. That's what Shiz always tells you? Who's she? A sob escapes your lips, your vision slowly blurring as you feel the wet droplets of tears falling slatting down your cheek from your eyes. For a moment, you saw panic in Crow's expression, seemingly not expecting you to burst into tears. He reaches out to hold your hand. Suddenly, you felt a pair of arms circling around you as he pulls you closer to him, letting you sob on his shoulder. Wah, 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 wah. He says nothing while rubbing a hand along your back, allowing you to cry, not caring about his clothes getting wet from your tears. Once you calm down, Crow rests his hand on your back, not letting you leave his embrace. You're amazing, Legacy. I'm sorry I never got to tell you no matter how many times I thought about it. I just couldn't seem to find the words. But you're amazing in your own way, Legacy. You may not know it, but you're beautiful, you're funny, you're quite a phenomenon. You feel the vibrations coming from your chest as a chuckle he emits. Heck, you're the funniest person I know. I'm saying, Legacy's that. You're amazing. You have no idea how much tears you shed tonight. Sometimes you think it's a little silly and childish to cry over something that was probably trivially matter to some, but the urge to sob returned after hearing those words from him. Do you want me to call you the amazing Spider-Man just to prove you're amazing? That made you giggle a bit. As you wipe your tear-stained cheeks. With whatever strength you could muster, you slowly pull away and lifted yourself up. Ooh. You set yourself up hovering on Crow, and there you see the very same man that made you cry by literally doing nothing. His braid came loose, you didn't know when, but his hair pulled around his head. Crow stares up at you with serene eyes, remaining silent as a gentle smile plastered on his face. There was nothing but the moon illuminating his tender features, yet to your vision he seems to glow. He's absolutely beautiful. Oh, how you wish you could blame everything on him. If you could, you tell him he's the reason for the unnecessary feelings swelling in your chest. You tell him exactly how good and bad it all feels. The heart aches, the butterflies fluttering around in your stomach. You want to blame him, but you can't. Hug him, kiss. Ooh. If my suspicion is right, you didn't feel as bad as before, but your vessel is not completely empty yet. So much as Leon Crow, the comfort he brought you, and wanting to bask in it longer until you were sure that you had no tears left to shed. Leaning down once you bury your face into Crocus' neck, arms instinctively wraps around you. His hug warm and soothing as he waits for you to gather your thoughts. Crow rubs circles on your back, a silent way of telling you that he was there, that you're not alone, that he'd be there whenever you needed him. He didn't say a word, understand that you need silence more than anything right now. You couldn't thank him enough for always knowing what you needed. You have no idea exactly how long you remained in that embrace while laying down on the grass, but you feel a lot better that you were ready to get back up on your feet. You pull away, meeting Crow's eyes that seem to ask after your well-being. Fixing his collar, he turns to you. Are you good to go? You could read from just that gaze. You nod slightly, and it is only then that Crow completely releases you from his embrace, helping you sit up before he dusts off the grass stuck to his shirt. He gives you once over, gently swats the leaves from your hair and clothes. You look at him, he only smiles at you. You get up, and Crow sheaves his bag, almost forgotten by the tree. He looks back at you and takes your hand silently. It was time to go. It was time to leave this magical place. Look at the stars, at how brightly they shone. You gave this guy one last glance before turning away, hand clasped around Crow's as you let him lead you home. Crow walks you to your apartment, noting that he kept you out late at night. You bid Crow goodbye as he safely sees you inside and gives you a wave, before turning on his heel and making his way down the stairs. You close your apartment door and lean on it, heaving a puffy air. You recall the conversation you had with Crow while you and him walked on the street leading you home. I'm going to give these guys a chance. I think I judged them too quickly, so I want to do better. I want to know them better. If you trust them, then I trust them too. Bars. Crow's expression was of surprise, a declaration of your determined face reflected in his orbs. Crow chuckles at your enthusiasm, giving you a friendly pat on the head. I'm glad you're giving them a chance, Legacy. I'm sure they will feel the same. You engage in some conversation with Crow during your walk, the topics of not really being of any importance as you have forgotten them by now, save for his gentle voice and the occasional fond glances he saw at you. Time with Crow seemed to pass by so quickly. You quickly arrive at your apartment complex before you knew it. You make your way to the living room and you throw your school bag to the random corner, immediately plopping down on your sofa as you turn on a small television. Nothing's interesting, save for some food commercials and some movie trailers. That pizza looks good. Yeah, sure, or something. You reach your pockets, taking out your phone. You're about to dial the numbers on the television when a new notification bubble pops on your notifications bar. Was it from a group chat you never seen before? After scrutinizing it, you realize it was Crow who added you in. It was a group chat with the rest of his friends. You open it. Anyone want to go to the Halloween party that's ready? It's gonna be awesome. Aren't we a little bit too old for costume parties? Is it required? You two are no fun at all. I won't go if it's not a school requirement. Much less to waste my time. Is it? No, it isn't. But it'd be a great and fun experience for all of us. I mean, we should loosen up a bit, you know? I agree with Crow. Count me in. Pass. I got more important things to do than that party. Now, will you excuse me? I'll be doing my leftover tasks for the night. Charles gone offline. Sheesh! Let's get on the as usual. How about you, Legacy? Me? You be joined? It'll be fun! You honestly surprised that they somehow remembered you. Checking your calendar through your phone, you didn't seem to have any plans in the near future. Nor any plans at all. You'd like to just spend your time in your apartment alone. I mean, sure? That's great to hear. Crow seemed to be happy about it. You giggled. It also reminds you of something. Or there's someone. You tapped your soul's newly added in contact and sent him a message by sending the image of the same poster Daryl sent. A Halloween party? How was by school? Yep. I'm not quite into parties. Oh. Oh, well, that's alright. Just asking, Zal. Wait. If you're coming, then I'm coming as well. Really? Really? Do you plan on dressing up? IDK, do you? I mean, it's a costume party, so why not? I'll try thinking of something then. You can swear I could feel the smile behind those words. With a quick word of goodbye, you set your phone down when you hear your doorbell. Nah, must be a food delivery. Ooh, my room is pretty. Afterwards, you eat your dinner and prepare yourself for bed. You thought of everything that happened today. Meet the group, meet your soul, and most especially your little hangout with Crow. Each and every moment is a special occasion on its own. Knitting out big yawn as you stretch your body. You turn to your laundry, slowly piling up. You scratch your head. Boop. Probably do laundry tomorrow. I'm actually a prolonger. But for now, you plop yourself on the soft cushions of your bed, getting into a comfortable position and slowly dozing off. You close your eyes, embracing the sleep as night goes. We're gonna wrap this up, guys. If you're interested in me going on or continuing it, leave a comment down below. Hope everyone had a fun time listening and watching. Bye-bye.